What common mistakes do founders make when developing their MVPs? And also, if you can tell us a little bit about how you help them to avoid those pitfalls.
I think the biggest misconception and also which leads to mistakes is this idea that MVPs are really rubbish and that they're going to be really terrible. I think one thing that we see a lot from founders is them inherently being really worried about this and then trying to overload with kind of small value add pieces which don't add a huge amount of kind of functional benefit to the user. And I think one thing that we especially try and remind them is that the key thing for the early users is that they just want to understand what their jobs to do are. So what are they actually on the platform to achieve? And so for us, the key thing about is working with these founders to make sure they actually understand, okay, what problem are you solving? What's this key problem you're solving? And making sure that the user journey targets that and that anything else peripheral that's come around it isn't going to be distracting the users from that core journey.
How do you balance speed and cost effectiveness with the need to deliver a high quality MVP?
I think really the calculation you're playing off here when you go through this process is the impact it's going to have on the users versus the resource that's going to be required to build it. And I think that resource, for some people that's money, for some people that's time. Just because you have the ability to build something yourself, if it's really complex and it's going to take you 4 months, you still shouldn't do it. So playing those two things off when you're assessing a piece of functionality, if it's going to be kind of medium impact to the customer but really difficult to build, it's probably not worth it. If it's going to be super high impact to the customer and really easy to build, yeah, perfect, quick win. If it's going to be super high impact to the customer but also maybe a bit of an effort to build, that's when you probably consider, okay, well, if it's really the core of your platform, then you're going to have to consider maybe still doing it, but you want to limit that to 1 or 2 for your MVP. And so that's the process that we go through to make sure that you're building something which, although there might be 1 or 2 bits of complexity in there, you're really getting a kind of quick speed and effectively cost effectiveness when you're getting to that scope.
Finally, can you share a success story where you've helped a founder through bringing their MVP to market?
Yeah, I think with a lot of founders we meet come to us and they've been quoted 12, 16 week builds, and I think one in particular is the fact that we build in full code means that we don't have any limits on what we can build. So some of those weirder products, those edge cases, is where we can really add some value. And I think one that I really like is a platform called Boomerang. It's a digital lost and found platform which we built the MVP for a couple of years ago now, and they've been sort of scaling since then. And you see them around London a little bit. And the nature of the kind of the complex or unique nature of those user journeys and the jobs to be done on that platform mean that actually things like low code builders and traditional development agencies were just going to be really expensive or not right for that. And so the fact that we were able to build quickly in code in sort of a 2-week period meant that we were able to kind of get them up and running really quickly, which was perfect, and also something which I could resonate with in terms of the product itself.